What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another, almost at match reaction, but that's tomorrow, for another daily news video. The preview will be later on, so stay tuned for that. So I'm not going to talk about what Allegri said. Maybe a quick point, what Allegri said, but not in depth, I'm going to talk about today's news, but actually the news of the last couple of days. To be precise, because it's all over the place. Let's be honest. It's making less and less sense in the in the last couple of hours. But that's the news, as you can see on the thumbnail, pictures, all those things. You probably know what we're gonna talk about. But before we get into that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. Let's go. Okay, so the thumbnail is a new Juve because that's what the media is portraying it to be at this moment in time, like the plans moving forward about a new direction for this club. The news has been kind of all over the place, from Zidane to Giuntoli to Allegri. It's making less and less sense, I will start off with what Calvo said pre-Bologna game, saying that the future is Allegri because it's a 4-year plan, a 4-year project, and the project is only 2 years in, so 4 years. So it's Allegri is a plan, according to Calvo. He also added that maybe not, we will add a sporting director. Who knows? Could be not. Then there are rumors about, we're going to promote the under-23 sporting director, or we're gonna get the guy from Milan, Masara. Like, it's all over the place. You have Allegri saying he's the future, he's gonna stay. Then you have reports saying he's gonna leave. You have reports saying he's gonna stay if he just get Champions League football, no matter how. Then you have reports saying he will stay even without Champions League football if you don't get Champions League football based on points deduction, which will happen. So it's very hard to make sense out of what's actually going on, Then you have rumors about Zidane. He wants to come. He wants to be back to get into coaching, and that to be Juve, not Real Madrid, because he has done Real Madrid, and he doesn't want to do it again. And then you have the latest news about Giuntoli, that we are trying to get him the moment Napoli win the title. They won it. And that De Laurentiis, and this is the funny part, De Laurentiis is open to just let him walk to us, which, going off today's comments about him talking about we won the Honest League years ago, because other teams were cheating, while he sold players to Lille that never had a medical with Lille and now playing Sunday League football, is kind of funny. So that's probably not going to happen. It's not going to be an easy fight for us, or like an easy way to get Giuntoli in. But those are the strong rumors that he's the front runner, that he is the one the club wants to be the new sporting director. I think Calvo also added something about Cherubini. Well, he's suspended, so that's not going to happen. He's done. He cannot do anything anymore in function. So it's Giuntoli. And then there were rumors about Allegri not being sacked, but being the sporting director, which the source is not good. But that rumor has been out there for a good 2 weeks. I never brought it up because it's not news from the classic reporters, or like the usual reporters. It's more of, and you probably don't like these guys, it's about guys from Juventus and all those things who, if I'm being completely honest, got things pretty spot on in the last couple of years, They were claiming, not sporting director, but they were claiming that Allegri is going to step down, but will take on a role within the club. Do I think it's a good idea? I'm not sure. I don't believe so, because I want my sporting director or whatever to have done this before. I like it's a different thing than coaching. You know, it's different. I'm not saying he will be bad at it, but it doesn't scream like he will do the sporting director job. Allegri, you know, because you need to have a different view on the game. You know, you need to have, or it should be, where you talk with your coach and that's my biggest point. We talk with the coach, but at the end of the day, despite no put aside the last 2 years, we usually get players and the coach needs to work with it. Since Allegri came back, there was more wiggle room, and Allegri got the players he wanted. So I'm not sure that he wants to do that, to be honest. But that's my point. The news is all over the place. Zidane in, Allegri in, out, Allegri sporting director, Giuntoli in, Masara in. It's all over the place. And I think it's still too early to make sense out of it. You know, I think the club should be knowing what they are doing, plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever. But it's still very early, and you can see it based on the news. Like it's one day it's this, one day the other day it's something else, and based on that, you can tell it's still very early to say, okay, this is gonna happen or that's gonna happen. But it feels like something is moving. It feels like the club wants and they need to set the pieces in place to act like a football club anymore. Again, excuse me, because now it's Calvo. It feels like he's like kind of a stopgap. Like Cherubini, Ferrero, and Scanavino. You don't hear from them, you don't see them. You know, it's and usually I'm okay with it. I don't want to hear my president talk that often and all those things. But in this situation, when everybody's shitting on the club, with all this going on, and it's only Allegri you speak and Calvo, it's kind of weird, you know, when you have De Laurentiis coming out with those statements and the club shutting, you know, keeping quiet again. I don't like that. Again, I'm not saying talk about every rumor, come out for every rumor, but in certain moments you need to speak up, and they don't do that. It's still weird to see, but it is what it is. You have newspapers again today already putting out sentences, you know. Is it bullshit, or do they know again like they knew a couple of weeks ago because things got leaked, you know? Is this already all preset, no matter how we will appeal it, how many times we will appeal it, all those things? It feels like the club is very, you know, anonymous and all this, you know. That's the feeling I get. And then you had also Calvo saying Champions League is important, you know, because of the money. But the week before he was saying, oh, this is a stable club, Champions League or no Champions League, the plan is going to be the same. So obviously the plan is not going to be the same. Champions League is key. Will we get it? Will they get points deduction? Will the UEFA step in? All those things, we don't know, because Italy is a joke of a country based on that, because the season is almost done and they're still waiting and still doing the, oh, let's see, you know, 15 points is too much, but we will give you more points, or we will get you points deducted, but let's see how many. The wage thing, let's see, probably at the end of the season, even after the season, which makes no sense for us, for all the other teams involved, not just Italy, in Europe. That's why the UEFA's pissed about it, and they want to step up, which is also not a good thing, because that means they're gonna rush things, and that's never gonna end good. And on top of that, you have the ruling from the European Court on the Super League. So all those things coming together, it could be a big bomb, and we could win the Europa League, just finish in the top four, and then you go boom, 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 you know. Points deducted out of top four. UEFA says no, all those things. You lose the Super League in European Court, what you're appealing basically, and it's all a mess. That can all happen in the next month and a half, which is insane. But that's the scenario. That's what it is at this moment in time, and we need to deal with it. So that's that. But again, I think it's too early to say, yes, Giuntoli is going to come in, Zidane's coming in, and blah, blah, blah. My feeling is still that Allegri will walk at the end of the season, even though everything that's coming out now is probably suggesting that's not the case. I just don't see how he wants to be part of this again. You know, there was a rumor out there today saying, oh, but they're looking at who can stay and who will leave, who's good enough, who's not good enough in this squad, and that's why this is all kind of accepted, which I don't believe. It's a very lazy excuse to say or to brush over an absolutely disaster of a season, because if that's the case, you didn't need another season. I could have told you last season which players would be good enough and which players would not be good enough, because we knew that already for years. So that's a lazy excuse in my opinion, and I hope that's not true, because if that's true, then we are in a very bad situation. We are, because if you still need a year, one more year to see who the good players are and who not, and after that year you come out by giving Alexander a new deal, then we should be terrified. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, that's today's news. I'm gonna wrap it up. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment what you think, what will happen, because it's guessing season at this moment in time. But who knows? Maybe there's some truth in any of these reports, and we will see in a couple of months, I guess. But yeah, leave a comment, like the video, and I will see you back, later today or tomorrow, post game.